want to give a big shout out to Wrestlers Laboratory. By the time this episode airs, it'll be August 11th. And what's happening on August 11th? Funny you should ask. We've been talking a lot about it every episode. Wrestlers Laboratory, One Giant Leap. It's an event. It's a show at 185 Ellery Street in Brooklyn, New York. Tonight, August 11th. It's featuring the talents of the likes of Flip Gordon, Aiden Agro, Alexander Lee, Josh Briggs, Sully Banger, Ken Dixon. And also the main event is going to be a fatal four-way to crown the first ever Nucleus champion. It's a main event between Trevor Aon, Tyler Matrix, Mr. Grimm, and our home state boy, Danger Kid. So really pulling for Danger Kid there. We've been a proud sponsor of Wrestlers Laboratory, One Giant Leap, for a long time now. I think since its creation or shortly after. A big shout out to Chris and Mike, who brought us in, and they've been spreading the word about this show, and we've gotten a lot of exposure because of it. So for that, gentlemen, I thank you. It was a great partnership, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck at tonight's show. I know it will go without a hitch. You guys are awesome and super hardworking, and I'm super proud to be a part of it. And so yeah, good luck tonight. Good luck to all the competitors. Danger Kid, bring it home. Bring it home, my man. Bring it home. Bring that Nucleus Championship home. So if you guys want, if you're in the Brooklyn area, go get tickets at battleclubpro.com. Actually, you'll get tickets for the Bounty in Kings County. It's the Battle Club Pro show. Wrestlers Laboratory, One Giant Leap is the pre-show. It will be free if you buy tickets to the Bounty in Kings County. And again, you can get your tickets at battleclubpro.com. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy card. And the fact that it's free, even better. So go for it, guys. Have a great show.
Talking about wrestling from the day in the past. It's going to be a blast. Jonny and Harmon are the main event podcast.
Harmon, what's happening, buddy?
You know, hanging and banging.
You've been using that phrase a lot lately.
I know. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It's fun to say, though.
Yeah, it is.
There it is, yeah. So what are we going to do tonight? We're going to talk a little all-star stuff. We usually do this like last month around the Major League Baseball all-star weekend, but we were a little late to the show.
We're going to talk about how I was the all-star of Brian Malonis's Q&A the other day.
That's true. You were.
I completely monopolized that thing.
Yeah, you did.
And then I thanked him for joining me.
Yeah, classic. Oh, that's good promo stuff. Nice. So we came up with 9 all-stars who we think have done really well in pro wrestling, in the wacky world of pro wrestling since beginning of the year or like WrestleMania kind of time. We usually do that again, like around Major League Baseball, but we're a little late. So we figured we'd do it anyway. And SummerSlam's a good kind of midway point. So people that have had a good run from beginning of the year to SummerSlam. So, and then joining us tonight, very special guest.
We usually do this with a 3-man show.
We do. Yeah. 3-man pod. So our third man tonight, third man in the booth, Mr. Ryan Waning, the owner, promoter of a brand new wrestling promotion in here in Maine called Pro Wrestling Takeover. So Ryan, what's happening, man? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, we are too. So let's talk Pro Wrestling Takeover first before we dive into the All-Star thing. What's going on? Give us the down low on the Pro Wrestling Takeover. What's happening here?
Well, where should I start? Actually, first of all, do I have any business in the business at all? No, I don't.
Good start.
I do, dude. I don't. You know what I mean? I'm learning as I go, but I've got a lot of the infrastructure stuff already taken care of. I've booked talent. I've done all that. It's just one of those things that I've wanted to do forever. I saw it on a very peripheral level for another independent company locally, and I decided that waiting wasn't the right thing, and I wanted to do it myself. So here we are.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, for a long time, indie wrestling in Maine really wasn't wasn't the best.
So I've heard.
Yeah, but it's had like this resurgence, and I'm thrilled, man. I'm thrilled that there's another promotion out there that's gonna come in, and
And I'm excited too, guys, because look, I've been calling it the cure for the common indie when I'm doing my promo, okay? Because essentially, look at all of the indies that we have available just in the New England area, let alone like the greater United States. I mean, if you want to see a show that is 3.5 and 4 hours long of just bag tag balls out WrestleFest, you can get that anywhere you want. You can get down to the specific flavor you want. It's not just going to get ice cream. You can get fudge ripple. There's the exact thing out there for you. I want to do something that fits a different niche. My idea is to treat every show as though it was a feature film and shoot it like that and shoot it for distribution. Okay. One show becomes 2 or 3 episodes of Pro Wrestling Takeover. The pre-tape and the post-tape are the most important things, but I have a director and a cinematographer already on board. I have a camera crew of about 8 dudes. We've got a crane cam, a drone. We're going to do it the way that I think we can do it.
Very cool.
And if it sucks and it blows up in my face, dude, the list of things that I have fucked up in my life is long. Yeah. The trail of tears of shit that I have messed up is super long. So this could just be another one of those things. But everything I've ever done I've come at it from that point of passion. And I am putting, I would say 135% into this, dude. It's all I've thought about for the last 8 months and as a realistic thing. And before that, it was one of the 4 or 5 things I always wanted to do when I was 16 years old. And if you can ever fulfill one of those things for yourself, man, check it off your list. Nice.
I love the idea, man. That's crazy that you got the crew and the filming equipment. I love good storytelling. It sounds like that's what you're kind of aiming for there. I love Lucha Underground so much. That's why I like it, for the storytelling and like how it's like a movie and it's different than your WWE programming on TV. So very, very cool, man.
It's very easily digestible too, isn't it? It isn't like to watch the WWE and all of their what they offer. You need to sacrifice some part of your life. You're not going to see your wife and kids. You're not going to do well on your job because there's how many hours of programming if you watch all of it, even down to the This Week's on Raw and all of that shit. Tons of it.
Yeah, so much.
Underground's like 48 minutes long.
Right. Yeah, and they have seasons. They have like season, so like a season finale, which is nice. They have a beginning and an end, and then the next season they start it up again. So I definitely love that direction, man. I think that's really cool. Nobody else is really doing that really anywhere. So that's pretty cool. Who do you get? I know you've announced some talent already. Who do you have on board already for talent?
Well, we've already announced. Let's see, Firework Fox Vineyard is one of my favorites. One of the things that we're trying to do is I would like to try to shine the light on some people that are very, very, very talented, but for some reason or another don't end up with the spotlight. Maybe it's because they're just about to break, or maybe it's because they're on that crest, something like that. I want to find the next people, and I want to give them an opportunity, a platform to work. We booked Fox Vineyard. One of the great gets of this whole thing for me is just from a fan standpoint, which really I'm a fan with a notebook at this point and a checkbook. You know what I mean? It's but Mike Orlando was a dude that I've seen his development, followed him online, and the opportunity to have him come to Pro Wrestling Takeover is a feather in my cap, I believe, or a feather in PWT's cap. I don't wear hats.
Okay, there you go. So is this going to be like so these guys that you have, right? So you got Fox, you got Orlando. Are these guys going to be coming back? If you're going to be doing kind of a thing that is like a very storytelling kind of a series with camera crews and everything, are these guys going to be reoccurring people up here, like for future shows?
Well, the asshole in me could say, well, that's why you have to watch. But
right, sure.
The dude that likes you guys and came onto your podcast. Yes, the short answer is yes. Although some of them we've talked about, like the 2 or 3 future dates, and some we've worked out with pencil in these 4 or 5. And some people I just want to see. And from the creative standpoint, and again, let's use the WWE as a reference point. You can write your way in and out of anything. It doesn't need to be coherent all the time. It would be perfect. It would be preferable if it was,
right?
Because that always, that makes sense. But for the most part, I believe with the way that we're going to shoot it, we can get over an absence with pre-tape and post-tape.
Of course, yeah.
You know, getting somebody off for 2 episodes and having them come back without it actually seeming like they're gone. Things like that.
Are you personally doing like the writing and stuff, or do you have like a team of writers and stuff that you're?
Yeah, I'm working with. The team is very small. It's myself, and because I'm a sociopath, I'm trying to take on as much of everything as I can.
Of course,
I hate the idea of farming things out to people when it's like my kids, dude. Like my kids can empty the dishwasher, but it takes them 45 minutes, and it's like a marathon. It's epic. I can do that shit in 10 minutes. I might not put the plates in the right order because my wife has colored plates and she has to OCD stack them in other colors, things like that. But I will get that shit done in 10 minutes. So the same thing applies with this. I need to have my hands in everything. But it's me, the director of this project, his name's Adam Kirkendall. It's Deadeye Films that he works for. A company. When I was doing stand-up comedy, I ended up doing an independent film with him, and it was my first exposure to that kind of thing, and I got to see what the scale of even a small budget independent movie looked like. And it was one of the reasons that when I got the idea of doing wrestling, I wanted to do it that way. I want to light it. I want to take the time with cinematographers to get the best angle. I want to write things for people that make them sound. There's so many things to it, but it's me, it's Adam, and my friend Grant, who I grew up with and is a writing partner that I've done projects with off and on for the last 25 years of my either comedic or whatever bullshit I was doing before that. I don't remember. A lot of weed.
Right. Perfect. So what can fans going to, because first of all, let's talk about the show. Like, when's the show? So
September 24th.
September 24th is a show.
It's Sunday afternoon. They're doing a matinee style show.
Okay. I gotcha. So
I actually I went out. We go out after work like once a month, and we went to the School Street Bistro in Gorham. And as I'm walking up, I'm like, Spire 29. Why do I know that? And this is where it's going to be, Spire 29, Gorham, Maine.
That is correct. It's a great space. It's an old church that they redid into a function space. It's got a stage. It's carpeted with what do you call them? Chandeliers that we're going to have to get rid of in case somebody decides they want to hang off of that shit. But a big old balcony and a bar. I mean, if you're looking to put a wrestling show into a place, this has most of the components. But other than that, we're going to do some staging, some other things to make it look less like the place that it is. And it'll start small, but we're going to be building off of it. The idea is grand, but what idea isn't, right?
Right. No, it's cool, man. So being a fan going there live, what can we expect? Is it going to be like a hybrid of? Well, I mean, I know you got like the production value and stuff going on with it, but as a fan seeing a show live, like how is that going to transition, or how do you want it to transition as a live experience? I mean, is it going to be like cut to like we're going to do that again, or it's nothing going to be like that, right?
Oh no, definitely. Okay. No, definitely not. Although gotcha. I believe I heard they do that in Lucha Underground. Have you guys ever heard that?
No.
Somebody will blow a finish and they'll be like, "Fuck, kill shot," do it again. Like,
no, I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I read a bunch of shit about that, and I believe that was one of the things. But I could.
Oh wow.
Which is awesome. How do you pop for that again?
I know. It's fun.
There's a double stomp off the top, but I believe I saw that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
but no, it's just going to be like a regular indie show with matches. The one thing that I'm going to try to do, because of the post-production, the way that it's going to change the way that the final product looks, it's twofold. One, we're going to have, I have a stretch screen, the projector that we're going to use to run promo before the show and probably at the intermission. So people have a general idea of what's happening, the sense, why the matches are happening. It's not just some dude dressed up like some dude wrestling some dude who's dressed up like some dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. But you can't, there's no way possible that we could pre-tape what we need to pre-tape and have it produced for the live show that day. There's just no way.
Right.
So we're going to try to balance it out. The rub will be we're going to because these will become available on, and that's another conversation, probably another podcast. These will become available on a form of media sharing at some point, or a streaming site. And if you have gone to the live event, you will get a significant discount on the finished product. If you were there, at least half off to see what it actually became.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I see you have a VOD tab on your website.
We do.
Harmon's always sleuthing. Always.
Yeah, what the fuck, Encyclopedia Brown? I'm glad I'm...
Well, I'm looking at your website right now. It's very well done.
You like it?
I do.
Nice. I had a very, very talented college dude that came very highly recommended, but it was by his relative. And you know how that is, where you're like, oh yeah, my aunt thinks I'm the shit also.
Right. my grandson knows computers.
Yeah. Once he helped you and you fucked up and you dialed out of AOL, and it's like, oh, now he's a genius.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He dropped out of ITT Tech, but he knows what's up.
Yeah. He knows networks. He's good. So, and our mutual buddy, Dustin's son, he's going to have something to do with this, right? I heard.
Indeed. I don't know if he's told you yet, but I worked with Dustin. I worked with Dustin when we were both back in college, and he's just, and you know him, dude. So to put him over like this is just telling you, it's preaching to the choir, but he's got that mix of likability and genuine goddamn charisma that I would buy if I could. That I would buy. He's just so goddamn likable. And I've met, I'd say, less than 5 people in my life that are like that.
Yeah.
And doing all the history that we have, broadcasting and all that, the idea for him to do the ring announcing came up and maybe do some interviewing and some production work with us. And it fits like a glove, dude. He's such a talented dude. He's going to pick it up like riding a bike, and I'm super psyched to have him on board.
Yeah, absolutely. Dustin is one of my favorite people in the world. I love him to death. And when he kind of slipped it out the other night in a group text with the boys, and I was like, no way. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
But doesn't it fit? Like once you get past the fact that it's your friend,
it definitely fits.
Doesn't he look the part?
He definitely looks the part, man. Yeah, he's going to do a spectacular job for you.
He dresses well. He dresses real well.
He's a handsome dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Cool, man. Harmon, you got anything else for Ryan, or you want to dive into the All-Star thing?
Hey, can I give you a couple more of the names that are going to be on the show?
Oh my God, absolutely. Bring them on.
This is for you, baby. We're bringing on the Sea Stars.
Are you really?
Yes, we are. We took care of that.
I love the Sea Stars.
Yeah, I know you did.
That was a personal recommendation from me.
That was, and not to name drop names, but I dropped your name, and
nice.
It happened. It came together real quick.
Oh, that got it done, did it?
It did.
They're the best. I love the Sea Stars.
Yeah, Johnny Kisses has muscle. You know.
One day you'll get my name right.
And also we brought on the Hoods today, so I'm very excited.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
But there's going to be plenty more to come, and there's a few people that are under the radar guys that I don't know if you saw the picture on the release, but Terrell Kenneth. God,
yes, I did. Yeah, he looks like a big dude. God damn, dangerous, dude, dangerous. Yeah,
he doesn't look so big.
Well, nobody looks big to you. You're a monster. God. Yeah, man. It sounds great. I love the idea behind it. The roster sounds awesome. I'm ecstatic that you got the Sea Stars. Super pumped to see them up here, and the Hoods too. Like I have never seen them before live. I think I've missed a couple of shows that they've been up in this area.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that'd be really cool to see them. So I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
I've seen them live a couple of times, and I saw them wrestle the Young Bucks on YouTube. And it was like, nice. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it was a phenomenal match.
Nice. Very cool.
Also, don't sleep on Ali Rex. We're bringing up from Ali Rex, future star.
Excellent. Yeah, I have seen her wrestle just online before. I have not seen her in person either, but it's going to be cool.
We are in deep Smith.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Cool, man. Well, it sounds like you got all your ducks in a row, and I'm super pumped for your first show, man. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm glad to have the opportunity to talk to you guys. I hope you have me back in the future once it either proves to be a success or a failure, because it'll be fun to talk about it one way or the other.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. For sure.
But enough with my bullshit. Let's talk about the show.
Oh my God. All right, let's do this. So we've each picked 9 all-stars that we think of that they're all-star worthy from WWE and from the indie scene, wherever. It started out as kind of a WWE thing. I think that's kind of what we've always done, but Harmon kind of brought up, hey, maybe we should include some indie stars. And so, yeah, sure, we're going to open the door, pick basically anybody. So how about this? Ryan, you are our guest. Why don't you throw out the first one? Who's your first all-star?
Yeah, it's
your leadoff hitter.
My leadoff hitter, yeah. Let's see. The list that I made is long, and I didn't tear it out. I just made notes to myself. What about The Miz? How good a year has the Miz had? He might be the best heel in the company.
I concur.
As far as like, if you're talking like Ric Flair heat, where the audience genuinely kind of hates him. I'm not talking about getting stabbed by knitting needles by Jim Cornette or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean that kind of heat. I think the Miz draws that, and that to me is cooler than the cool heel.
I'll agree, man.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He cares not one bit about being the good guy. He is the bad guy all the time. He's a heat magnet. I mean,
yep.
The crowds hate his guts, and he loves every second of it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And the only thing that blows my mind is when he drops the main event in WrestleMania thing. I'm always like, really?
Yeah,
really?
Oh, yeah.
It was like one of the lowest drawing like WrestleManias ever. Yeah. Like the word, but he'll just ride it. He rides it out. It's great.
Yeah, but then they put like the colored strap Intercontinental title on him, and it's like, wait, you were that over then to this now? Like, that's crazy.
Oh, and he talks about
the IC belt meant something 25 years ago.
Right.
He talks about his direct-to-video movies like he's a big A-list star, and
which is awesome to draw heat. But I wonder if he believes that. Part of me thinks he does.
Yeah,
part of me thinks if he was your neighbor, there would be like balloons on his mailbox the day that the Marine 6 came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For the longest time, I hated the Miz, not because he was what he is like in this last like year and a half or whatever, but just because I genuinely just did not like him. I was like, oh man, I think he's kind of a shitty wrestler, and he's really annoying, but he says things that like don't really get over very well, but he continues to use them.
Yeah, the stuff he said on Talking Smack earlier this year was awesome.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
Where he talked
but like
Daniel Bryan wrestled a high risk style, and he wrestles a style where he can be there every week, never misses time, and it was gold. I mean, absolute gold.
Yeah, that's where it really like turned for me, because I was like, man, this guy sucks. And then like once he started like doing the whole Daniel Bryan stuff, I was like, and I love Daniel Bryan. He's one of my favorites of all time, but I was like, this guy's great. This guy's amazing. The
hint of truth and the fact that he's, having to really be a dink to say this stuff makes it, it's stuff that you really wouldn't want people to say, but he's saying it, and it's.
Yeah.
But isn't it great? I mean, that is, a Hallmark greeting card for work ethic, because he was nada. You know what I mean?
No.
He was Mike Mizanin from the real world.
Yeah, and he got shit on a lot too. Like from the locker room.
He got shit on long after he deserved to get shit on.
Yeah. There's like those infamous stories with like Benoit and like JBL, and it's just like he really had to like.
JBL's a fucking twat, dude.
Yeah.
And that's not just wrestling fan. One of my friends had an interaction with him. I back in the day, I was in Boy Scouts with the guy who was he was Brian Black on the Indies. I forget his name in WWE. He was an authority figure for a while. God damn it, it's escaping me. It was like it was a hoity-toity name. But anyway, I'll look it up on the internet and finish my story later. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. But yeah, JBL punched him. It wasn't good. Anyway.
Oh, Palmer Cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Well done, dude.
Yeah, like I pulled that one from the old nugget of info.
Isn't that a tan slacks and navy blue blazer name all day, dude?
Yeah. Well, he's a Maine native, I believe.
Yeah.
Still around somewhere.
I believe he's working at he's like the something manager at Pineland Farms, which is a huge organic. But I was in Boy Scouts with that guy. We kept in touch. Weird.
Oh, nice. Get him on my show.
Yeah. We used to give each other the fucking figure four on the Knights of Columbus. How about that?
Nice, man. Nice. Very cool. Awesome, man. So that's a Miz. Great pick.
Miz, yep.
Awesome. Harmon, who do you have?
I've got the most entertaining act on SmackDown television, Breezango.
Yep. Yes, the Fashion Police.
The Fashion Police, Fashion Peaks, whatever they're doing right now they're not even wrestling, and they're the most over thing on SmackDown.
Yeah, they were on my list too. I 100% agree. They've earned it without even performing in the ring. Like they haven't had a match in weeks, months
since the last pay-per-view. I think they had one on the pre-show. And
that's true. Yeah.
You know what it almost reminds me of is, do you remember the bullshit that was the original New Day gimmick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where it was like almost as racist as what they did to Tony Atlas in like the early 90s, where it was like, they have him like singing gospel music.
Yeah.
And then they ran away with it, and they're doing what the New Day does. To me, that's what Breezango is doing, where it's like this bullshit, really? And then they just sort of ran to the left, and it's like, oh, how did this get over? Well, let's run.
Right. Yeah, and it's like both of those guys have always been really talented, but it's just like it never really clicked, and then they found like each other, and they found this cool gimmick that they've kind of molded together, and it's just gotten over like super, and people love it. And I don't think like that Vince McMahon loves it, but I think he's just like he just probably sees money in it, and he's like, yeah, sure.
You would think they would learn from previous trials. You let guys like the New Day, release their creative juices all over the place, and this is what happens. They made millions of dollars on New Day merch last year.
Yeah.
But isn't that every story from the old days when everybody's like, man, when I went out there, I just got over with myself. It was my character. You know what I mean? It's like, right. They're like,
right. And if they let more guys do that, I think WWF wrestling would be in a better place. Yeah. It would be less cringeworthy to watch, 5 hours of wrestling every week on
right.
If they would let them loose a little bit.
Let them own it. Yeah. I mean, how hard is it for a dude to be an elite level athlete and an actor?
Right. It's insanely hard.
It's ridiculous. You imagine getting dropped on your head and then having to cut a promo that somebody read to you 2 hours before.
Right. Yeah.
That might suck.
Yeah. Cool, man. I love it. Fashion Police on the team. Let's see. I'm next. I will throw out. This is a guy who kind of doesn't get a lot of exposure, but he's had a hell of a year. Neville. I'm going to say Neville.
Well, awesome, dude. Awesome.
Neville.
He was on my list. He was on my list. I had him, dude. I wrote completely reborn as a heel champion. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. He got stale as a face and didn't really get any TV time as a face. And then once he went heel, it was awesome. I mean, granted, he's still like kind of limited to like pre-shows, which is annoying because I'd like to see him on like the main show or like, and even on like the main roster, like put him on whatever show.
I hate that the 205 guys don't wrestle anybody else.
I know. And we always talk about that. And I think that would be such a better thing for Neville to be doing. I mean, he can still be the cruiserweight champ, but then like throw him in with a match with someone like on Raw or something, just randomly. I mean, that's good for him. But unfortunately, people don't get to see him a lot if you don't watch 205 Live or if you don't watch a pre-show of a pay-per-view. Right. But he is there and he is kicking ass. I mean, he's had the belt since what, Mania? Before Mania? I mean, he's had he's had the championship this entire time. So he's definitely doing great things. And I think he's 10 times better on the mic as a heel than he was as a face.
Amen to that. Yep. So, and also, dude, he is a strange looking human being. And that always goes further for me as a bad guy, where I'm always just like, ugh,
Right. Yeah.
And that's how to say that is. You're like, if he's a good guy, you're like, people like him? Like, really? His neighbors don't pull the curtains when he comes outside to get the mail? Really? Like, okay.
Right. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Who else you got, Ryan?
All right, let's get back to it. I have, how about Samoa Joe? And only basically for the reason, I've been a fan of Samoa Joe since he had blonde hair, and when I ran into him in Ring of Honor years and years ago. And I've always had a high opinion of him. When he had that run in TNA, when it was him and Daniels and AJ, and they were doing the three-way matches that were actually something to watch on TNA.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought Samoa Joe was a top guy. And then they brought him in and they stuck him in right at the top of the card on Raw. And he has pretty much proved that that's where he's belonged for a long time.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I think when he first came in and he was like, that silly short run that he had with Triple H's like henchman. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a little slow start, a little lame for him. But then, dude, what really put me over
the Brock
was the Brock stuff. Dude, he's been great this last month and a half, like with the Brock stuff.
I was actually excited to watch that show. Like in the couple of days leading up to it, I was like, Lesnar and some for real. You know what I mean?
Match.
And I gotta say, it's been a while since I've done that for. I'd say maybe was it Cena and Punk that I really look forward to. Yeah, and that was a fabulous match. But anyway, I think Samoa Joe's a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, and he's so over right now. I mean, just on Raw the other night. I mean, when Heyman was rattling off the names in the 4-way. Yep. Reigns kind of got the mixed reaction. Braun kind of got a cheer, but then once he said Samoa Joe, the crowd went nuts, and I was like, oh wow, he got a bigger pop than Braun. Like he's super over, man. He definitely deserves.
And did you see the pop? The pop was so big it scared Curtis Axel. He'd never heard that before.
Yeah,
he was like, "Oh shit."
Oh, that's what that sounds like. Oh, weird. Huh? Easy. I mean, even still, the guys that I'm wrestling, it's usually like, I don't know, Kurt Hawkins.
Oh,
so
shit.
Still not. I still don't get to see that.
The no pop gang.
Yeah. Harmon, who do you have?
I'm going to go away from WWE for a minute and go with Cody Rhodes.
Obviously, yeah.
ROH champion, wrestling in New Japan, member of the Bullet Club, independent wrestling god.
Yeah, and he's like a New England, was it New England wrestling champ, ROH. He had a Global Force title before they kind of did something weird with their titles, and I don't know, that's a whole mess. But yeah, no, man,
awesome.
he's killing it. I mean, he's the man. He's killing it out in the Indies. Absolutely, Cody Rhodes. Oh.
Hitting
how much do you guys like Cody Rhodes? Like the fact, because I thought Stardust was neat. Like I thought it was interesting, but it went too long. But I liked some of the stuff that he did before, like the mask, like the damage, don't look at me, man. Like I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
You know, and he did a good job with it. But this like heel asshole Cody Rhodes, dude, he's gonna make a lot of money when he goes back.
Yeah,
he's gonna make money.
Absolutely.
Not that he's not making it on the Indies, but he's gonna do it.
Right. I loved the Stardust thing, and I don't know if it was that it went too long or if it just went too long without them doing anything with him.
Exactly.
Like he, Harmon and I have talked about it like a ton, especially like while it was going on, because we were doing the old podcast at the time, and we were just saying that he would have been like a great heel, kind of similar, like a top-notch heel, similar to a Bray Wyatt, mysterious, dark. He could be conniving and just like foil with people's plans, and they just didn't do any of that shit with him. They just did like, oh hey, team with their brother, and then fight the guy from Arrow, and
But that's the thing, and you know what's even more fucked up about that, dude, is they even had the Arrow influence going, and they couldn't realize how much of a comic book character he was.
I know, yeah.
They're like, this guy is a template comic book villain. Like he's below Luther, but above like fucking Mr. Mistleplick or something. You know what I mean? Like. He's somewhere in there, but it's that's exactly what he was. And they even had the Green Arrow tie, and they're like, nope, comedy.
Yeah, right.
Right. And they it's like they're afraid to almost do factions, like they had a moment where they had the Ascension with him for a minute, and they were
who have been fucked worse than almost anybody.
Right.
It's true.
And then they put for the Arrow thing, they had King Barrett. He was the Cosmic King for a second. I'm like, oh, this could work, Yep. But they just nope, never mind.
Yeah, just kidding around. Yeah,
just kidding around. We were just
the length of time it takes. The length of times it takes Michael Hayes to burp. It's like, oh, my push. There it went.
Yeah. No, man. But what he's been doing lately, like on the Indies, is great. I mean, the Ring of Honor, claiming the Ring of Honor championship. I mean, that's huge.
Awesome.
Did you watch the last Being Elite video or whatever the Young Bucks put out?
I did not.
No,
I heard it had a lot of cameos.
They got a ton of WWE cameos.
I'm sure Vince loves that.
Yeah, like at the end, Cody Rhodes gets a phone call, and they're like, "Who is that?" He's like, "It was a WWE stooge. We've got a cease and desist."
That's awesome. Oh man.
He's overhearing Flip Gordon talk about the bag that he stole and gave to the Revival.
Nice. All right, let's see. Moving on. My turn, right? I will go with.
This is a fun game, by the way, boys. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, good. Let's see. I'm going to go with. Man, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I mean, he's had a hell of a year.
The juice.
The modern day Maharaja. He's
from Indiana or wherever, Canada.
He's from Canada. He got a huge pop last night. Huge pop in Toronto. It was great.
A lot of Campbells in Halifax.
Right. No, man, he's been killing it. I mean, he looks like $1 million. He
does.
From rags to riches kind of story with him being a jobber, and now he's the world champ. I mean, it's great. I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, he looks great. He's working hard.
Give it 6 months. 3MB will be back. All right.
I don't know about that.
Something like that. Where they turn Jinder Mahal into where they put him and I got kids back together in a comedy act where he just sneers all the time. Dude, I'm telling you, he's not wrong, dude. That idea has already been floated to somebody, I bet.
I think, well, I don't know if it'll go that far, but I think they'll just be like a less threatening
dude
trios with the Singh brothers. I think like once Jinder gets knocked off, I think his time will definitely be over. But
dude, did you just say the phrase as a longtime wrestling fan? Did you say the phrase, I don't think it will go that far?
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the same company that had Mark Henry and Mae Young give birth to a hand.
Yeah,
that's true. A hand. Do
you remember when Eddie Guerrero and China were doing the like Mamacita thing on Raw?
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching that show with one of my buddies one time, and they walked up, and it was Hugh Hefner's house, or it was supposed to be Hugh Hefner's house, and they went to knock on the door, and right before it happened, I was like, "Do you think that's really the Playboy Mansion?" And my buddy's like, "Why the fuck wouldn't it be?" And Hugh Hefner opened the door, and I was like, "There it is, WWE. There it is."
Yep.
You know, of course, if they can go that far, they will.
They know no bounds.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my pick, Jinder. Feel free to chime in, or we can.
I think that's gold. I think that's gold.
Yeah. Ryan, who else you got?
My turn. Cool.
Yep.
How about this? The tag team of Cesaro and Sheamus.
Excellent.
Okay. I always loved Claudio Castagnoli. And the Cesaro thing, when they cut off his first name, I was like, fuck, he's going to get buried, you know? But they do that to everybody. It's just their thing. I don't get it, but whatever.
I don't get it either.
I hate Sheamus, dude.
Really?
I've loathed that dude for, I don't know why, dude. I don't know if he looks like a kid that beat me up when I was in second grade, or whether he, you know what I mean? Or I don't know what it is, dude, but there's something about him that I've never liked him. So when that came together, I was like, fuck, when is Tyson Kidd coming back? Answer, never. So you're like, is this going to work? Dude, it took them a little while, but they're the best tag team in the company, period.
I don't disagree. I think that's I think it's a great pick. I
dig the mugging of the Boondock Saints gimmick, because they're definitely touching that a little bit.
Yeah. No, they definitely have a cool look. I think I wasn't really sold on them at first. I was like, this is classic, you know, throwing two guys that they don't know what to do with together.
How many times have they done the quote unquote mutual respect tag team?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, and these guys hated each other for like the longest time as a tag team, you know?
Yeah, well, my fear too was that Cesaro is so over, like as a face, that I was like, oh man, they're gonna turn him heel. It's gonna be weird. He's gonna like lose any kind of fan steam that he has. But he wasn't really going anywhere in the company. Like everybody's like, oh, he's championship material. And I'm sorry, like, but he's just not as heavyweight championship material, at least currently.
Well, you can't be with 10 fire trucks hosing you down the whole time.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I know. It's definitely, that's what it feels like. I mean, but still, I thought it was an awkward pairing at first, but it's worked out, man. And I was surprised to see them regain the championships once the Hardys got them. I thought they were gonna I thought WWE was just gonna ride, the Hardys into the sunset, man. I was like, oh, they got the Hardys back. This is their thing. They're gonna put the straps on them and ride this thing out. But they gave him back to Sheamus and Cesaro, and I was like, whoa, okay, cool swerve.
Isn't it bananas to think like fantasy booker land of 5 or 10 years ago that you're actually watching the best company in the world in having their shows with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Claudio Castagnoli, Kevin Steen, El Generico. The list goes on and on of those dudes. It blows my mind. It's like a video game.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is like a fantasy booker's dream. It's like, I'm gonna have all these guys in 10 years, and I can just do whatever I want. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna rebuild the territorial system on my network and have everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, Harmon. Who do you have?
Do you guys hate Sheamus?
No, I love Sheamus.
No, I don't hate Sheamus.
I love Sheamus.
Fuck you both then. Fuck you both. Next.
No. All right, just cutting your mic off. Who do you got, Harmon?
I've got to go with another indie guy. I've seen him a couple times now.
You son of a bitch.
No. And he's got a huge social media presence.
I thought you were going to say something else. He's got a huge social media presence.
He's been wrestling all over the country. But Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Friedman. Yeah, nice.
Superstar.
He's gonna be awesome, man. I mean, he is awesome. He's gonna be huge someday.
Dude,
real huge.
Dude, he can really wrestle and really, really talk. Like, when does that come along?
Yeah, right.
Dude,
CM Punk? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. It's great. No, he's fantastic, Harmon. Great pick. Anything else on him, Harmon? That's it. That's your soul. That's it.
Well, he brought 2 belts to the last show we were at. I mean, he's got titles upon titles. He's all over the place. He's gonna be gobbled up by somebody here shortly. You know.
Yeah, he's a very fast rising star.
He needs to be on television.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So awesome.
He's TV ready right now.
TV ready. Let's see. My turn. Man, who do I have here? I'm going to go with another champion, another WWE current champ who's had it for a while, Naomi. I think she's had a hell of a year. Yep. She is one of those superstars who never really got her shots, never got that opportunity, and then she got it, and she just exploded, man. Her entrance is my favorite entrance in the WWE. I think it's fantastic. And she's the champ, and she's performing on such a high level right now that I was watching her match last night, and I was like, man, when Asuka gets to the main event, or the main roster, I'm like, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Naomi is really, really athletic. She's a really good wrestler. I think even though she's the champ, I think she's pretty still underrated.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't give her the credit that she deserves, but I think she's awesome, and she's holding the belt nicely. And she's got all these contenders. Like she's gonna take on Natty. She got Carmella waiting in the wings with the briefcase. I mean, it's cool. She's holding the belt like a champion should. So I think she definitely earns a spot on my roster. And
let's give Naomi the Mike Mizanin Award for pulling your shit together and making something out of yourself. Like, she was in that horrific tag team 2 years ago, remember, with the cheerleader or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
They did. I don't remember. That's the point, you know? And now
Funkadactyls?
Yeah, dude. Yes, dude. And now she outlasted both the other people in that act, and she has a killer entrance, and has the belt. But when the WWE makes you a special belt, you're going to get a run. Yeah. When she got the special light up belt, it's like, oh, cool, I'm going to be the champ for a while.
Yeah, well, even that, I mean, even that whole glow thing, that was all her. And that was her, she started out with just the shoes. And then she was like, oh shit, I'm going to I've got this glow idea. And they weren't buying it. And they finally said, okay. And they put this whole production on, and it's gotten over big time. Everybody loves it. Like I said, it's my favorite entrance in the WWE right now. I mean, it's great. So she, yeah, man, she's definitely she's on my roster. She's I don't know, she's playing center field. So
I dig it.
Cool. Ryan, what you got for us?
I mean, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Cool. I wanted to go either India or Japan, so I'll throw out an NJPW one really quickly. But I definitely I don't want to go without following up on that Naomi thing. But I'll get to that in a minute. What about Evil?
Yeah,
in absolutely. NJPW, talk about coming on strong, dude. And this G1 Climax, he's had some phenomenal matches, and I feel like he's just on the outside of that bubble now, where they're so smart about the way that they prepare to lose their guys at the top. It's like the WWE in 1997 through 2000, where they had dudes 3 tiers down, so it wasn't just pulling an upper mid carder into the main event. It was taking some of the Val Venuses of the world and putting them up higher than they maybe deserved. They had them in those positions, and I feel like NJPW does that as well as anybody in the world. Evil is a prime example of that. They're getting him ready. Yeah, no, I definitely agree, man. I think that they do a great job with that. It's funny that you mentioned the 1997 WWE, because man, they had all those guys waiting in the wings. Dude, everybody was doing something. Everybody. Yeah. Well, and that's a point that I often bring up all the time when I feel my mid-level guys, my mid-tier guys aren't being used. I'm like, fuck, man, remember the Attitude Era where everybody was being used? There were D'Lo Brown and Val Venus were having a feud that you actually cared about and you would watch it. It wasn't just constant main event. It wasn't just Dude, I loved Sunday Night Heat. I loved it. Yeah. I was like, this is where all the dudes that I dig are going to get it on. This is great. Right. Yeah. No, great pick, man. Great pick.
Harmon, who do you got?
Let's see.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
How about the big man? How about Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
Braun. Yeah, I like Braun. Yeah, man. What about Braun? What do you like about Braun? That he's big?
Oh, yeah, he's huge, scary looking. But he was pretty much unknown and comes in, was a henchman for a while, and now he's main eventing. He's headlining, fighting for the title. He's had some great matches with Roman Reigns. I mean, they've beat the snot out of each other.
Feud of the year.
And he's
Feud of the year, dude.
He's just superhuman big and strong. He's chucking dudes across the ring. I mean, he made what's his face there, Chinless over there on SmackDown. I mean,
James Ellsworth.
Ellsworth, yeah.
Good name, dude. I knew exactly who you meant. No chin.
No chin, Ellsworth. Yeah.
But would you guys agree that Strowman and Reigns is probably the feud of the year in the company?
I agree. I think they've had like some hellacious matches. I mean, that ambulance match was great. And they do I
just feel like it's gone directly back and forth without involving a lot of other dudes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of tributary angles that lead you back in, I feel like they're steady. And also, man, he threw that chair like a football, and that was awesome.
I was just gonna bring that up. Like they do cool spots like that. Like that chair is like a memorable moment. Like like all those like Raw moments like back in the Attitude Era where you're like, oh, remember the time Stone Cold did this? Like that's a moment now that I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna remember it. Remember that time Braun Strowman threw that fucking chair like 30 yards and like
I just moved an office chair. I built this production studio in my basement to do production stuff for the company, and I just moved an office chair. Like 12 hours after watching that, I'm like, fuck, these are heavy.
Yeah.
They're heavy, dude.
Yeah.
They're not just heavy, they're awkward. Like all the weight is at the bottom and it spins if you're not holding it. He's a beast.
Yeah. One more thing I'll say about Roman Reigns. I mean, one more thing I'll say about Braun Strowman is he's another guy that has worked his ass off to kind of improve his body and improve like his wrestling. Like when he came in, like Harmon said, he was just like a henchman, and you could tell he was big. He was just a big dude. Now he's big, but he's like, he's trimmed down. He's lost weight, but he looks more muscular and not so like, even he had some chunk on him,
But did you see how quickly they pulled him out of that shit when they're like, oh, we got one here. Let's get him out of there.
Right, exactly.
Abort. It was like, how quickly can we get the collar off of Deacon Batista? Like,
right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I only wish it would have worked out for Luke Harper the same way because I love Luke Harper, but man, I think
I saw something on Twitter where they on the house shows they made him a tag team with like Kalisto or something or Sin Cara.
I think it was Sin Cara. Yeah. Yeah. They made him a tag team.
Go back to luchador gimmick or what?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had like a head injury, I think, at that point.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and they made another weird tag team too. It was like Eric Rowan and somebody else that like didn't fit at all. I was like, oh, these are weird Eric tag
Rowan,
teams.
I literally just forgot that guy even wrestled.
I know.
And at the beginning, dude, I thought the mask was one of the coolest things. I was like, oh, that's creepy. That sheep thing, that's creepy. No, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Up next on my team, I'm gonna go. It's kind of a softball pitch, but I'll say it. Kenny Omega.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I mean, he's had a hell of a year. He's not only with like, he's failed twice at Okada, but the thing is, like, he's always in the headlines, and he's always putting on like 5-star matches, 6-star matches, if you want to talk to his Meltzer. And he does a lot of like social media, he has a lot of social media presence, the videos on YouTube. I mean, he lives his promo, and it's just amazing. I think he's a guy that WWE will have soon at some point. I mean, it's insane if they don't sign him at some point. Not that I'm sure that they're trying. It's just something's going on, I guess. But like it's a shoo-in at some point. He'll be in here. So,
see, he's a dude that I wouldn't say I missed the boat on, but it took me a while to get it. Like I was like, he's strange looking dude. Like his matches are pretty good, but I get the Young Bucks, dude. Like I understand, and they're coming from a very similar place as far as their way that they market themselves, and I get that. But it took me a little bit to get Kenny Omega, and in the last 2 years or so, I've been ape shit for it, dude. Those two matches with Okada, the long, like the 80 odd minute one, dude, that was like Flair Steamboat at the Chi-Town Rumble. That was amazing. And it was like, people say that wrestlers don't tell stories anymore. That match was bananas as far as in-ring storytelling. And I could watch it again right now.
Yeah, it was a great match. So yeah, he's shoo-in for my roster. Who else you got, Ryan?
Let's see. My list includes, well, if we're throwing softballs, what about Asuka?
Yes, she's on my list too. Yeah,
dude. I mean, I don't know. I just say dude several thousand times because, I mean, if NXT counts, she's the longest reigning champ in WWE history if you exclude the like national expansion pay-per-view era, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which is saying something because Bruno Sammartino is still the champion back then.
Yep.
But other than that, in the real world where belts change, that's a long run. But other than that, keeping her down there, dude, to just dominate, and I say down there, but NXT is my favorite shit anyway. But keeping her down there to dominate only builds the tension for when she's going to show up. And it's not like Y2J, the Jericho reveal, because you know who it is. It's just a matter of when that music hits on one of the big shows, people are going to shit their pants.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Absolutely, man. She was on my list too. I will say that she doesn't have the best competition down there right now. I think that division's pretty thin. And unfortunately, I think Ember Moon, she got hurt, so I think that delayed maybe a title change if that was going to be the plan. But I don't know. I mean, I think she's on my list for sure. I mean, I think her reign speaks for itself. I mean, she's definitely an all-star, but I think her only. You know
something, dude? That dry patch of having less people in the women's roster down in NXT is going to get solved pretty quick when they have that tournament.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Remember how many cruiserweights they bought? They're like, you, and you. Like, okay, so they're going to do that with them.
Yeah, that's going to get stocked up real fast. And I shouldn't say that it's not a weak division. It's just thin. I mean, like Ruby Riott, I love.
Yep.
Who else is down there?
But comparatively to what it was when it was Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch, all of that, it does feel thin.
Yeah, it's true. But no, man, it's a great pick. She's definitely on there. Harmon, who do you got?
I've got another NXT person. It's Alistair Black.
Yeah.
Yes.
The matches he's been putting on are just insane. He's so much fun to watch. He's just super interesting, like kind of dark, but not evil.
Yep.
A little devil may care, and I don't know. His matches are just so solid. I keep rewatching the one he did with Cassius Ohno, and that match was just so good.
Yeah,
dude, he had me at hello the first time they popped him up in his coffin thing. I'm like,
yeah, very cool.
It is. There it is.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. His kicks are great. His whole arsenal is awesome.
Isn't that? It's funny that British style is catching on with people, like not just indie fans. They're trying to give it up to the common fan or the mainstream fan, and I'm amazed that people are eating it up. But it's so damn stiff and fun and different. I think that's why people like it, because it's different.
Yeah, and again, it kind of has. I have the same opinion on it as I do 205 Live. Is that they just segregate so much stuff now? Is that it doesn't get the exposure? Like I love those British dudes. Like I love Pete Dunne, I love Tyler Bate, but it's like I don't see them as often as I would like because again, there's so much. WWE puts out so much stuff and it's all segregated. It's tough to watch, wherever they are, like on NXT or
British style wrestling too. It makes more sense to me, like realistically.
Yeah.
The chain wrestling.
Yeah.
Slower in places, and then the chain wrestling, you can pick it up, and they sell better. It's just more. I don't know. Just really.
Although it just
for me.
It doesn't make sense, dude. They take that, it's like a flavor, like on the menu, like I was saying earlier, right? But then they like you were saying, they segregate it. Like it's like all the same stuff on one show. Well, what about the flippy guys? We'll put all the flippy guys on one show.
Right.
Isn't the beauty of having everything being able to make a dinner out of all the ingredients you have?
Right, exactly. That's a great way to put it, Ryan. And I guess I'll throw out my next selection because this ties right into this. I'll say Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne is a guy that like you try and tell me that if you put Pete Dunne on an episode of Raw and just let him be Pete Dunne, ruthless Pete Dunne, like I mean how over that guy will be? You know how much merch you guys will sell of Pete Dunne?
He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's going to drop you on your fucking head. Like, there it is. There it is.
I mean, but you put him on NXT, I guess, sometimes, and then I don't know. I don't even know where to watch him on WWE programming now. So it's like, and I know that he's like, he does a lot of other dates. I know that he's not like exclusive to WWE, but it's just like, fuck, man, like, get that guy like full-fledged on Raw every fucking week. Like, that's where I want to see him. He's incredible. So
but putting him on a show with like this is just an example, but like Jack Gallagher or other dudes, like, look, if you're gonna have all these dudes doing spinning fucking chicken wings, spread them out.
Yeah.
You know, dude, I come from the world of stand-up comedy, and if you're a low guy or a middle guy, you need to run your jokes by the headliner. Because if you have a joke about like onion rings and the headliner has a joke about onion rings, you don't run it because it's his. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So how do you do a show with 30 dudes that all do the same shit? Hey, who's doing a Hurricane Rana? 30 hands go up.
Right.
You know, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's silly, man. They got to really intermix these guys here pretty soon, but I don't know.
Vince is all about segregation. I know that from his politics.
Yeah, he sure is. Oh, man.
Can you imagine if they asked that nowadays? All right, so who's using a super kick tonight? Everybody's hands
go up.
Who's using
you'd have to ask who's not doing a dozen super kicks.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler just gets frowny face immediately. Aww.
When he gets that, his ponytail shrinks into a little tiny ponytail.
Right.
Who's doing European uppercuts tonight? Ah, shit.
Cesaro, come on. You're doing 30 of them.
Yeah. But isn't that crazy, dude? The biggest company with the most resources of all the stuff that they can control, and they're like, okay, that's cool. Everybody with chin locks. Cool.
Yeah.
You know, the teams of people they have to write the stuff and put it together. You think that two of them would say, hey, what's your guy doing for a finish?
Yeah.
Let's okay. I just didn't want to do the same thing.
Right. Or I mean, or just like make stables with these guys that can, you know, that they don't always have to be together. But you're telling me that like, well, I always bring this up because it's like just I think it's a good example. But like back in the Attitude Era, you had DX, but you had X-Pac, you know, vying for the European Championship or whatever, and he would have a feud with like D'Lo Brown, and then the New Age Outlaws would be doing their own thing, and Triple H would be doing his own thing, but then they're known together as a unit.
Okay, that's genius, dude. That's genius, dude. What were we just talking about before about how everybody was doing something?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
How everybody was ready. It's because they were getting people over with proximity. They were putting D'Lo Brown with the fucking Rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it was time for D'Lo Brown to do something, people were like, "Oh, that's the guy that rolls with the Rock." Like,
right.
It's just, you know.
But like right now, like you like for instance, like you could take Neville and you could put him in a stable with like Kevin Owens. Like those guys could work together and have something going on, you know, or maybe not KO, but somebody like similar, like, you know, and just they have a unification in some weird way. And then, but they're out doing their own thing, but they help each other out at some point. You know, it doesn't have to be this League of Nations bullshit where like, you know, they are together all the time and they only do fucking 4, 8-man tags, you know?
Well, that's why it kills me. Like with the New Day, like when Kofi and Big E were champion, why wasn't, Xavier Woods going for the U.S. title?
Exactly.
Or right now where Kofi and Xavier are champions, why isn't Big E going after the, U.S. title or the WWE championship?
I know, that's my hope.
Huge.
And that's the
even if he's not going to get over or win it, just to be active doing something.
Right.
Like, the New Day is so goddamn over. Somebody could benefit from that.
Yeah, no, entirely.
Think about the Shield. You had Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were tag champs, and Dean Ambrose was U.S. champ. Yep. Perfect.
Exactly. Perfect. It worked.
Didn't the Horsemen all have belts most of the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think Tully was pissed because he was the TV champ all the time. He had shit to do.
Right.
Yeah, DX. I mean, Shawn Michaels was world champ and European champ. Oh, you can't be European champ anymore. Well, Triple H is European champ now. The New Age Outlaws are tag champs. So, they run this shit.
Yeah.
And dude, they blend the stories together where one guy that was getting elevated would pull up the guy that was going to replace him from behind and put that story together. So it elevated that guy. Like, it is a machine. It was a goddamn machine, but built out of necessity, I would imagine. But
yeah, no, man, trust me. I'm right there with you.
That's why it bugs me that they don't do something with like the Club.
Yep. I know, right?
Finn Balor. I mean, you can have guys that are, tight with each other, but they're not all having to do the same thing. They can do their own thing. But, when times are tough, that's when your group comes together,
Yep.
Yeah.
I say it all the time, like, this shit writes itself. I don't understand.
But if Vince didn't write it, then he doesn't like it. So,
Bullshit.
I don't know.
It's like,
You can't tell me you don't imagine him like spitting gravy at his family on Thanksgiving, like Triple H on the edge of the fucking ring, right? Like that's Vince McMahon. Like
yeah.
that's Vince McMahon, dude.
he walks in with that big coconut swinging walk and then spits gravy all over his family.
Yeah, and then they all laugh, dude. Everybody's coated in gravy like they're at a fucking Gallagher show, and they're all laughing, dude. Just laughing.
Just laughing.
Checking their phones for their bank accounts.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, boys. Let's see. I think I've got one more. I don't know where you guys are at.
I got Deuce. I got two, and I bet you. Actually, I got three, and I bet you guys will cover them.
Okay. My last one. Actually, whose turn is it? I think it's
Harmon?
Me?
Was it
Sure.
you or were you last?
I can't remember. Let's
We
just
keep done. It's Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah.
How about since we're talking about women, how about Alexa Bliss?
Oh God, of course. Yeah.
Now that Charlotte Flair, which I'm awesomely psyched that they let her have both of her names, which is great.
Right. Yeah.
Because they don't, dude, and I hate that.
They don't do that.
No, they hate last names or first names.
Remember, the worst one was Yoshitatsu, dude, where they're like, is it one word or is it two? Like, But anyway, Alexa Bliss. Now that Charlotte is pretty much a generic babyface, which is wrong. Yes. Alexa Bliss is the best woman heel and probably the best female character overall.
I agree. Yeah, I think she's great. I see nothing wrong with Alexa Bliss. People really criticize her in-ring work a lot.
I dig it, dude. I dig it. And the teasy, like, almost Harley Quinn gimmick is cool. I dig it. Like, they're like, how do we steal that without getting sued?
Right. Yeah.
We don't want the broken hearties here. Like,
right.
Yeah. So I just dig it, dude. And she was not somebody that I was seeking to be a fan of. But now when her music hits, I watch.
Yep. No, I'm right there with you. Like I said, people kind of criticize her in-ring work. I don't. I think she has a really cool, like, grinding style of, like, working a body part and then.
And how great is it when she, like, dislocates her elbow?
It's so awesome. Yeah.
That's gross. But how about this, guys? Who else used to get shit on in a very similar fashion? Trish Stratus.
It's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a fitness model and she's just learning and she's good looking, but blah, blah, blah. And years later, she's one of the best you've ever had.
Yep.
Just a year and a half ago, Naomi was the same way. They were like, but she's not main event,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I agree. Harmon, do you have anybody else?
I do. How about your NXT champion, Bobby Roode?
How about Bobby Roode?
He's kind of had to carry this, like, weird period of time in NXT. After Samoa Joe leaves and after Shinsuke leaves and Finn's gone, and it was kind of like they were just starting to get into like this, like the really good, like, second or third phase of NXT, and then everybody leaves. So he's been, like, leading this. I don't know what you'd call it, like, I'd say like third or fourth, phase of NXT, and he's done a damn good job of it. He's a cocky prick, and he's really good in the ring. The song is the best song ever for a ring entrance.
No, just the best song ever. That's fine.
Yeah, I wake up to it every morning. I don't know if you know that. My alarm clock goes off, and my girlfriend hates my guts. So, but it's glorious. It's so glorious.
No, he's fantastic. I love him.
Hey, are you guys Red Sox fans?
Yes.
To me, Bobby Roode is Scott Cooper. Do you remember the guy that they called up to replace Wade Boggs?
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Yeah. And
Wade Boggs is my favorite baseball player of all time, by the way.
Wade Boggs is my favorite beer drinker of all time.
Yes.
The legend is awesome, dude. When he popped up in the Nesson booth the other night, I was like, 50 beers deep? What is he?
Oh yeah.
Right? But no,
it's like Slayer. Yep.
Yeah, love it. But they called up Scott Cooper, dude, and he was supposed to be the heir apparent to Wade Boggs, and he couldn't carry it. And Bobby Roode is that, but the other thing where you have to replace all these, let's call them superstars. You have to replace all these superstars based on a limited run of work in this company because not everybody knew, Bobby Roode from Beer Money and all that shit.
Right.
But he has done it, dude. He's taken that shit and run with it. And I'm blown away. as blown away as I was when I saw him with like whatever Team Canada back in the day. Like I was like, wow, this guy can go, you know? Yeah. But it was but even then you're like, there's something there. But to see what he's become, I mean, let's give him a Miz Award again, because there's another dude. You're like, good for you.
Yeah, and I think, when you're handed the task of like sending off Shinsuke Nakamura, who was like so over at the time, that's a pretty tall order. And he handled it, I don't know, swimmingly, I think.
Absolutely.
So it was awesome. Yeah. I'm going to just say my last one, maybe, to cap it off. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention someone who wrestles kind of all over the country, indie guy, but has really found a home here in New England. So, and just got the big call up. I'm going to say Donovan Dijak. I think
absolutely
just got the he's earned it, man. He's definitely earned his signing to wherever he's going.
Whatever's next.
So, but I think, dude, getting a chance to see that guy live has definitely been a treat for me. He's so big and so agile. He's nothing like I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen like big dudes before, like, I've been, pretty close to ringside and seen like, Big Show and Lesnar and all these guys, but like Dijak to do the moves that he does, like he's doing like springboards and 450s and like all kinds of crazy shit.
He's an athletic freak
that you just don't see from a guy that size. And it's really awesome to see in person. So, I've had the pleasure of seeing him live.
I look at Dijak and I see a guy that, like, I'm not sure why he didn't get the call sooner.
Yeah.
Because you look at him, dude, and I mean, immediately you look at the current storylines that they have going. I mean, they're going to give that dude some sort of European first name, and he's going to be like Chris with a K Dijak or some shit like that.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'll be with Lana or Rusev or some shit like that further on down the road. But I guarantee you, dude, they see him like football coaches see college guys or college coaches see high school guys, where they size him up and they're like, he hasn't even grown into his paws yet.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
This is a guy that we can develop as our own, who's already way ahead of the curve and can probably gain 55 pounds and still do that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like money. Cha-ching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You make him Slovakian and
dude,
stick him with Rusev. Man, that would be awesome.
Dude, it's like you said, it writes itself. Like, I know they're distancing themselves from Russia because of Vince is a fucking raging Republican and he doesn't want to do the whole like Putin thing. So they made Rusev Bulgarian again. He's not a Russian sympathizer. He's just a European brute, Like, yeah. But I guarantee you, dude, you're right. It's going to be one of those Slovaks or some random, Chris with a K, yo.
That's your prediction. Cool.
They might even see if he can grow a mullet.
Yeah.
Like a greasy hockey mullet, a Czechoslovakian mullet, dude.
Oh, man.
Which I guess I didn't know this, dude, but in America it's called the mullet, but in Europe they call that haircut the Czech.
The Czech? Oh.
Yeah. Nice. Pretty cool, right?
Makes sense.
Cool.
You learn shit on the Main Event podcast, dude.
There you go. Yep. Let's see. Did you have one more, or did you have like an honorable mention or anything?
I had one that I left off my list, and it was just the Usos because
I had them too somewhere. I think I had my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it because that's another like they had them doing the Samoan like drum dances and shit, and now they actually turn them serious, and it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
But they're another one on the list of like that down since day one-ish. Could they get any more simplistic with anybody's new entrance music? Like they're like, so what do they say? Down since day one-ish. Okay, down since day one. Like that was it. It was like back in the 90s, dude, when they're like, what's his gimmick? Oh, he's a rabid Wolverine. So they're like, rabid Wolverine. Okay, there it is. Next song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's so yeah, dude.
Yeah. But
I hear that every time they pop out.
Nice. But yeah, they've had like the belts, for a while now. And, they're just plugging away. They had like I think they really shined like during the, that rap battle kind of thing. I mean, it was silly, but I think like that I think everybody expected like the New Day to just be like, win it easily and kind of be.
But they got to say that Kofi Kingston used to be Jamaican, which is something I've always wanted to say.
Yep.
Right. And they brought up Xavier Woods' video page.
Yeah, so it's like,
Also, one of them got fat, and I can tell them apart now. I'm like, oh, it's Fat Face Uso. I'm like,
yeah. You still don't know if it's Jimmy or Jay, though.
No, but he's the one that does the leg drop. So I'm like, Fat Face Uso. There we go.
There you go. Yeah. Nice. Let's see. Harmon, did you have any like honorable mentions or anything?
I did, and it's
Just shout them out and just back.
War Machine. They're what, 2-time IWGP champions now, Ring of Honor tag champs. I mean, they've been killing it this year.
That's a beard thing for you, I bet.
It's a beard thing for Harmon. Yeah, he loves it. Harmon loves beards.
Gotta love the beards.
Nice. Let's see. I just had the last one that we haven't mentioned on my honorable mention. I had Carmella. I think she's really kind of stepped into her own. I think the Ellsworth thing has kind of run its course, but I think it's useful. She won the first ever women's Money in the Bank, and I think she's turning into a decent women's heel here. I think it's not like crazy. I don't think it's like crazy good, but I think she's developing nicely her character and her. She'll be not terrible in a while.
She's totally one of those women that they're like, well, she looks like $1 million. Can we teach her to wrestle? And then they sort of have. So it's like, well, look at that. Look what we did.
Yeah, exactly. So she's earned it. But anything else?
I've got a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be on this list, say, next year?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question.
Good question. Well, Ryan, if you have anybody off the top, Ryan, go for it. You're our guest.
One really quick right off the top of my head is Cash Ono.
Yep.
Just one of my favorite wrestlers from the Indies for a long time. I've been with that guy since he was doing the real, like the Superman and the Paunch thing, wrestling CM Punk and Bryan Danielson on DVDs that I used to copy and sell for people on eBay from IWA Mid-South in like 2000. Some of that shit, dude, was some of the best stuff. I was a wrestling fan from when I was a kid, and then I went away until the Monday Night Wars came back, and then I just dove into the Indies, dude. And that stuff, he was all over it. And that is a guy that I've always been in love with and deserves. I will always give him my money, but he deserves more of everybody else's.
Yeah. I will say, I'll say Shinsuke, just because he's had a really slow start to his main roster.
Yep.
I thought his debut really sucked. I thought there's nothing special about his debut.
They changed his fucking entrance, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, what the fuck is I'm sorry I'm swearing so much, but
It's fine.
What the fuck is the deal with the artist? Shinsuke,
yeah.
No idea.
Andy Warhol? Like, why can't he just be a weird motherfucker that kicks you in the face? Like,
yeah.
I don't get that. Like,
I don't either.
Have to tag him and make him like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, and it's definitely proven to be like not working. I mean, he's obviously like,
how do you make me and you and Harmon like somebody less that we liked for the exact same reasons 3 weeks ago?
I know.
With 2 words, dude. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe his match at SummerSlam, if he claims gold and then kind of rides this out until next year and has a good run, I would like to see him on a good tear, but it's just really slow going right now, and I don't know what the hell they're doing with him. So I'd like to see Shinsuke back up there, as red hot as he was.
I feel like that's something where Vince saw like a 35-second clip and he was like, I don't get it. And they're like, okay, let's Andy Warhol him. Let's do something.
That's probably really accurate. Like, that's probably insanely accurate. Like that Vince was like, oh,
because he's weird and then he kicks people in the face.
Oh, that'll never work.
He needs a snake. You're like, all right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Harmon, did you have one or?
I did. Next year, I really want Drew McIntyre to be like the boss of the wrestling world.
For sure.
Yep. Actually, Drew McIntyre was a guy that I had on my short list of if he was still on the Indies when I actually announced all of this bullshit that I'm into.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He was one of the guys. So
yeah. It's kind of funny because he's like in NXT, you don't see him every week. He's just kind of like you see him every like third week, and you're like, oh yeah, Drew McIntyre. Holy shit, he's tearing some shit up.
He was a beast. That run he had in Evolve. Yeah. Awesome matches, awesome promos in a company that doesn't like. They're not focusing on promos. They're a super show of indie dorkdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is just phenomenal wrestling from back to front. But he was cutting promos like Ethan Page, which just made it different.
Nice.
That's another guy that needs to be on TV next year.
Dude, yeah, put him on that list, dude. He's a star. He's a star.
I'll ask you guys one question, and then we'll wrap up here. Who did not make your lists that you are surprised didn't like? Like for me, for example, like usually the AJ Styles, the Kevin Owens, like our guys are, the top of the tier guys that I was like, oh yeah, I love those guys. But I don't know. They haven't had like a great run. I mean, they've both been US champs, but I don't know. Nothing's like crazy memorable. Like on the, they're not going on like this crazy run of, they're batting, I think, below average for them.
I would say that's my guy too. On this, like why is he excluded from my list? Because he is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I feel like he's settled into that. I wouldn't call him like the jobber to the stars role, but I think it's like he's settled into that.
Which one were you talking about? KO
AJ
or
Styles? AJ?
Oh, AJ. Yeah, AJ. Yeah.
Like we can keep him near the main event and know without a certainty that he can pull a ridiculous match out with anybody we put him with. So we don't necessarily need to make him the focus. We can pull him in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that while it's probably a great spot for him, I just feel like he is a shining star, dude. And I feel like he is at his best when he is the focus.
Right. Harmon, what about you? Anybody?
Yeah, Dean Ambrose. He kind of like, he's so solid and like consistent, but they kind of cool off on him. And, I mean, the stuff he's doing right now with Seth is pretty cool. And it's probably going to get, bigger and better, but it's starting to heat back up. But he's so like up and down,
Yeah. His whole thing just ebbs and flows, and it's weird.
Well, how do you sell us a guy that's supposed to be a lunatic, and then every 3 months make him a comedy character for 3
right?
months?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like you can't go back. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Like now he's funny.
And his character really isn't evolving at all. It's been the same now for well over a year.
Yes.
Seth Rollins has gone from heel to babyface. He's made some changes. Roman Reigns has gotten a little different. He's not wearing the gear so much in the ring. He's cutting better promos. He's evolving. He's
a little more cocky. Yeah.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose is kind of staying the same. He's upper mid card comedy, just like you said. So he's kind of flattened out.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that's the plan for him, awesome. But it's like, it's just, I guess that's the burden of having the best of the best always.
Yeah.
Right.
Is how do you get all of them over on the top? You can't.
Well, and that's kind of like my answer to this. It would be Seth Rollins. I mean, that's a guy who I really thought that when he turned babyface, it was going to be like John Cena level. I thought it was going to be just so monumental, and it was just going to be over the top, and like everybody would go fucking ape shit for it. And it was just really subtle. And then I was like, oh, this kind of sucks.
That's because they didn't have him tag with John Cena. I mean,
that's true. Yeah, that would have helped.
I feel like the subtlety is where you get lost on the WWE stuff sometimes. Like people are so used to getting bashed in the face with a shovel that if you try to be subtle with them, they're like, is this happening? And then it gets sucked under the wash of whatever the fuck happened that week, where it's like one of the 9 stories. And it's like, no, that was a monumental event that you just didn't pay attention to.
Right. But then they're also like just leaving him high and dry with wins. Like he lost to Bray Wyatt clean, like on a pay-per-view, like recently. And he just lost the other night to Sheamus. I mean, it was a little bit of a distraction by Cesaro, but not that big of a distraction. He lost with like a roll up. And I was like, oh wow, he just lost like pretty clean to Sheamus. Like that's weird. This is Seth Rollins. Like this is.
Give it a name, dude. What about Bray Wyatt? Like I was in love with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, show me something else. Like not change the channel. Not like, where's the next evolution of this?
I could not have a limper dick about Bray Wyatt with Balor.
Yeah.
Dude, why, when he's in this weird spot, why would you put Bo Dallas with The Miz, dude? Doesn't that work itself out? Doesn't he start Bo leaving in his family? You know what I mean?
That's
like Jesus. That's ridiculous.
I know. All right, boys. Well, that's fine. Hey, man, it writes itself, Vince. Come on. No, well, that's it, man. That's our all-star teams. Man, fun little game there. It was good. Good
awesome.
Selections both by you guys. Ryan, back to Pro Wrestling Takeover. We're excited for it, man. Where can listeners get info on it? Where's
you can check out everything Pro Wrestling Takeover on the website, www.prowrestlingtakeover.com. There's also a Facebook page. It's Real PWT. Instagram is going up, I believe, this evening. We're also going to have our tickets available both on the website and through brown paper tickets, $15 front row, $10 general admission. The lineup is still unfolding on the website. and on the Facebook page, but we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty of it with just the people, but we'll be doing the actual matches as we get going closer toward the show. But we're super psyched, dude. We're looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be something different. I feel like there's room at the table for everybody when you're doing different things and not overlapping. And I think that, the response from the boys has been pretty good. So I'm very excited to see the response of the fans, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the ride, because I want you along. Absolutely,
man. Yeah, we're excited to see it, man. It's gonna be sounds awesome. I love your direction that you're going in it, and it's gonna be fun, man. Real fun. Harmon, where you at on the old social media?
At Harmon316.
Beautiful, as always. Nice. I'm at Johnny Fashion on Twitter. You guys can check the show out on Twitter at Main Event Pod. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Main Event Pod. We're on Podbean and iTunes. And go to maineventpodcast.podbean.com to find us there. Harmon, quick Teespring plug? What do you think?
Yeah, buy a shirt. Thanks.
I love it. Nice and quick and easy. Buy a shirt. Teespring. Nice. Awesome.
Follow the link on Facebook. New lower prices on T-shirts, long sleeve tees, tank tops. We've also got the hoodies available. And get something for your kids, huh?
Get something for the kiddies. All right. Quick shout out to Follow the Fox. Thank you guys for the intro and outro music. Follow them on the interwebs, followthefoxband.com and facebook.com/followthefoxband. Dylan and Sarah, big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are doing great out in Colorado. Ryan Waning, thanks, man, for coming on. You're the best.
Always a pleasure, guys. I hope this isn't the last time.
Oh, definitely not, man. We look forward to the show, and we'll see you there, man.
Word.
Word.
All right, guys, listeners at home, thanks for listening. Catch you guys later.